Welcome to Action Points, a Mythras Matters actual play podcast. In this episode, Company Business Part 2, using the Destined rules, the team follows up on a lead for the mysterious Dr. V, finds themselves in an enclosing situation, and they start to fight back against the bad publicity that is trying to ruin their reputation. My name is Inwils and I will be the GM for the game. I'll let the players introduce who they are and who they will be playing.
I am Mr. Pickles. I play Lily Alex, aka Rabbit, whose shoes are apparently falling apart, I guess. I probably said that because she's super fast and she has regeneration, but her shoes do not have regeneration. So I imagine she's very hard on shoes. She's sort of a melee crowd control character, going super fast, dodging and inflicting status effects on people, rather than busting their skulls open. She's got a strange backstory of growing up on a farm and then coming to the city, and she has a very powerful personal friend who I'll pass the mic to, Medivac.
Hello, I'm Medivac, and I play Sophia Sampson, aka Misty. She's a lawyer by day, but when she's out in the streets helping people, she's a flying mistress of moisture. That's going to sound pretty bad, isn't it?
She used to work for Pan Am and
No,
Airlines.
don't make my editing worse.
She can create a blast of water. She can make mist form from the moisture in the air. She can also create constructs made of water. Yeah, and she died once. And with that, I shall pass on to Captain Kangaroo.
Everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. Tonight I'm playing Banner. He has big, strong knuckles of steel. He's able to bash things and also makes a very mean hot pocket. He knows that it's actually 1 minute and 36 seconds. 1 minute and 36 seconds makes the perfect hot pocket. And his secret to making sure it's not super cold in the middle is he squishes it really softly through both his hands and then just kind of rolls it up again into like a little like pizza taquito. Now I don't want to take that away from both the Italians and the Hispanics, but sometimes we like to connect two cultures to make something beautiful.
You do realize the only thing that's going to remain of your introduction is I'm Captain Kangaroo and I'm playing Banner.
And Banner, very strong, big mean boy.
No, just Banner.
And he's good at everybody. Banner.
I feel the whole episode might be like that.
I'm running on like been awake for only like 48 hours, so I'm a little delusional today. Besides that, he'll be super. He's also here to protect everyone's freedoms from themselves, and
for justice and freedom for all.
Mostly just him.
Us, but...
that. It's mostly just for him and not us, but
okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep it nice and simple like always and very brief and pass the mic to our good pal and GM Inwils.
Thank you very much. Now, can you remember which company you signed up to?
I make really detailed notes, but Mr. Pickles was telling me in confidence that he forgot, so can you?
I think we went for our classic companion Jack Stone, didn't we?
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I remember.
You did, and the company name was.
Jack Stone Enterprises.
No. I'm looking hopefully at Medivac. So, I like that.
Sorry,
film.
I got my mic on. S1E1 Enterprise.
Say again, sorry.
Was it Eternal Enterprise?
No, Eternal
It got
Enterprise.
changed.
They're the
Eternal
body-
We were
Enterprise.
Enterprises, though.
It was Enterprise. Eternal Enterprise is Brian Brass's company that is trying to recruit Banner.
Was it Lead
Uh,
Enterprise?
No, it was called
Lead Enterprise.
Atomic
Can't read writing.
Alpha.
Mm.
Right.
It was called Atomic Alpha. And there was another company that tried to get you on board. Who was that?
It was the communications company that had the
it-
social media.
It was, yeah.
That was a big. I know that was the one we were considering as our alternative because we did not want Brask's Eternal Enterprises.
Oh,
We-
okay.
You wanted it, Captain Kangaroo, but we were deciding that that was the worst option there.
Yeah.
And I secretly wanted the fourth, but I can't find where that link was to World Anvil.
So it was called Sky Syndicate. Sky Syndicate, and they were all in charge of communication and social media, etc., etc. But you went with Jack Stone's because you've worked with Jack Stone before, and his company was called Atomic Alpha, and it deals in weapons, alternative energy sources, etc., etc. But you all felt comfortable going with that company as somebody you could work alongside of and actually be part of. And you have actually got a contact from Atomic Alpha, almost like your go-to person who got back in touch with you last time. Does anybody remember his name?
Medivac talked with him on
Was it Ollie Olsen?
No, he's the chief.
Police.
That's the dispatcher from
That's right, dispatcher, yeah.
police. He was
Yeah.
called Matty Mason.
Oh.
He was called, and he got in touch with you last time, and has told you that they had found the location of Dr. V's previous research lab, if you remember, and they had laid on a helicopter to fly you out there, and it arrived on a lawn of one of Misty's mansions, and it flew you out there. It took about half an hour to an hour to get there, and it landed outside a white building that had a perimeter gate round it, a perimeter fence with a gate that was padlocked. And just to one side of it, of that gate, there was a rather old weather-beaten sign that said Eternal Enterprises Research and Development Unit 6. And there was a padlock around the fence. So if you imagine what the location looks like, it's a single-story building. It's white. And from where you are at the outside of the perimeter fence, it looks totally unused. There's like a roadway that goes from the main gate down to the building, and there's would have been parking for cars outside in front of the building. Apart from that, the helicopter did a complete circle as it approached. There seems to be nothing out the back. There seems to be fire exits in various places. And apart from that, the windows all seem to be made of reflective glass. So you couldn't see in, but there also seemed to be no power to the actual building. There were no lights on. There was no sound of aircon or anything like that. You do notice that the road down to the building grass has started to grow from the edges and started to invade the concrete at various places. And the helicopter landed, if you remember, and as you got out, the rotary blade slowly came to a halt. And the pilot said that he's willing to stay there and wait for you to return, unless you have any other instructions for him to do.
I think stay would be the best option for him.
Honestly, I'm just very surprised because this is like the first helicopter I've been that's landed safely. I didn't know they did this actually. So
Yeah, the last one
I thought they always crash.
I think the last one you jumped out of and left Rabbit by herself.
Yeah.
Rabbit and an alien, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think you jumped down that building, didn't she?
Yeah, I think
Rabbit and her Polish friend.
Banner actually jumped out saying use a portal to what was the alien character called? Astro. Astro, yeah. And yeah, so it lands very well and very gently. It's a good pilot, especially since the last pilot is in rehabilitation at the moment after the...
Can I just confirm?
Is that why he crashed? Because he was high?
On my notes here, I've got all gates closed, guards lying down, and I've got barrel roll written down. That was the guy
that was
from
the other...
Yeah.
That was the warehouse.
With all the people catching in the warehouse.
That was that fatty.
Yeah. That was the previous adventure. Yeah.
I've got 2 books with notes and I can't find the other book. It's really frustrating.
So like Mr. Pickles has extensive notes, as we all know. He'll be able to fill in any missing information. So you get out of the helicopter. The pilot takes off his headphones and brings out a portable like a little iPad, a tablet, and starts to read something on it. And as you get out, he gives you the thumbs up as if to say, well done, do a good job. And yeah, so you're standing in front of the gate. It has what appears to be a rather flimsy padlock on it. It looks rusted. You notice even at the base of the fence, grass has started to invade it, and it's quite obvious from the grass growth that these gates have not been opened for some time. Like I said, there's a fence at that label next to it, the placard attached to it. The fence is only about 2.5 meters tall. It looks like it's normal interlinked fence, and it seems to have a line of barbed wire or razor wire around the top, which would be quite standard for things.
I'm going to immediately grab the lock and the chain around it and just rip it down.
Yeah, so just roll me a brawn roll.
Is it embarrassing? No. Okay.
No, you got 45 out of 7. You got, what did you? Yeah, you got 45 out of 73, which you easily rip it open. And it seems to have no or little resistance to it for you, Banner. You just go snap, and it just sort of like instantly comes away from the chain. And you can push the gate open if you wish.
All right. I pushed the gate open because I wish to.
Yeah. Do you wish to open both of them or just one of them?
Just one of them.
Okay. So you sort of like push it open, and as it pushes open, there's a bit of resistance. It doesn't feel as if the gate has been open for a long time. It looks maybe the hinges are a bit rusty or gunked up with things. So there's a bit of resistance, but nothing that you can't handle, and you open it. Now, remember, this is the last known location of Dr. V, who is the rather devious villain that has been harassing you for some time. He's also the villain that actually infected the whole of the police station. So it is possible that Dr. V might still be using this research facility. You remember that as you stand outside the gate.
Okay, Michael Brody, isn't it?
You also, you also remember that Dr. V had employed another villain that you haven't actually managed to attain.
Sure Shot.
Yes, Sure Shot, who is a rather good ex-army sniper. You've never met him face to face, but you have definitely been on the receiving end of some of his work. Yeah, single story up at the top. What would you like to do?
I'm going to do a perception roll as we get closer. I want to see if there's any like moving like security cameras or anything that signifies that there's some sort of monitoring happening.
So the driveway down is about 100 meters. So
Okay.
So you can do it from this way, but it'd be really difficult. It'd be probably easier to do it the closer you got to it.
Yeah, I will do it to get closer.
Does your scope have thermal on it?
My what?
Oh, you don't have a gun, do you? Sorry.
Which universe are you in?
Oh, no.
You've got your M space book open.
For some reason, I thought he had a sniper scope, but no.
He
No,
has
he-
like a shotgun, isn't it?
He did.
But
He
it
has
has a sniper scope on it just in case I want to throw it.
Sorry.
He has a shield. It's his favorite thing to use at the moment.
Does he have a scope on it?
Yeah, that he looks
I
through.
spilled
just before-
some scope mouthwash on it, but besides that, it was a busy day. I was using the other end as a bowl for my
Thank
cereal.
you. I don't know where that was going. But do you know, when I upload this podcast, there's a tick for explicit content, and I think I'm going to have to tick it, aren't I? Just to be safe.
You will get more people listening.
Oh, that's it. A
Yeah.
marketing ploy.
All those kids will be going, yeah, I'm 18.
Yeah. I wonder how many of the listeners are now thinking, "Ooh, do they know I'm listening?" So yeah, do you all want to go down together? How are you going to approach the building? Anybody
Rabbit's
can
going to
talk
look
first.
to Misty. Do you think I should go with him? What do you think the plan is?
Why don't you do what you do, Rabbit, and just have a run around and see if you can see anything?
I will immediately leave the moment that's mentioned, and
Yeah.
I'm going to sprint as fast as I can to do 3 or 4 laps around the building, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just one.
Roll your perception, and then I've got an indication of how much information you get.
Yes, and I got better at my perception. Ugh. I'll use a point of luck to give that a reroll.
Okay, then.
I bet you will.
Lucky rabbit.
That's good. So 21 after your perception is 56. So you get right through up to a formidable success there, which is quite good. So as previously stated, the windows are reflective. So as you go round, you can't actually see inside. You notice that there's 2 fire exit doors, one on the back and one to the left of the building as you face it. These are both closed, and you notice that round on the floor, there's various grasses growing up on it as well, which almost like dictates it or suggests that they haven't been opened recently. The main doors, as you zoom past, is a double door that doesn't have reflective glass on it, and that seems to open up to a small entrance, very small, almost like an alcove that seems to have doors going off it left and right. You notice that the paintwork is rather peeling in places. You notice that there's chips, the grass has grown over the concrete, etc. Your basic feeling is that this has not been used for some time. The doors at the front, as you zoom past, they are closed, but they don't seem to have any locking mechanism that you can see. So there doesn't seem to be a padlock or anything like that.
Okay. After getting all that information, I'd want to zoom back to Misty, ideally using Banner as sort of a parkour boost to my speed.
Yeah.
and zoom right back up to Misty, and I'll say, it looks like it's just a normal building. I don't see anything that's too terribly like frightening or anything, but the front doors, that looks like we can go in. I don't think it's occupied anymore, but there could be people that are like secretly using it, but not a lot. It would just be like one or two people that are maintaining it, or it could be
But-
another location where they're storing stuff. There might be a lot of things in there.
That's wonderful, Robert. My worry is that this Dr. V is very good at making chemicals, isn't he? I don't want to go into a building that's full of some poisonous gas.
Poisonous
So-
gas. Well,
Yeah. So get Banner to going first. And we'll
You think
know.
Banner's the quickest to deal with poison gases?
Well,
So,
I do have iron lungs. Speaking of iron
Well,
lungs, my
could
cousin
you-
did have to.
Robert, can you go back to the
live in
helicopters and see if
Ireland
they've
for a
got
few
some
years.
like air masks, breathing apparatus?
Yes. I'm gonna sprint away.
Did you happen to see a back door, Rabbit?
I'll sprint back really quick. Yes, there's the emergency exits all over the place, but the front doors seem to be the ones that might be the best. They don't have reflective glass on them, so you can kind of see in. It's a little bit easier to know what you're going into. And I'm gonna go back to the helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah, you get back to the helicopter. The pilot sort of like looks up as you suddenly appear there in a flash, and he sort of like jumps and sort of like puts his tablet away and sort of like reaches for his headset and say, "Are we ready to go already?"
No. We just need to see if you have any like gas masks or something, like face masks, so that we can breathe deadly toxins in without dying.
He sort of like looks at you. He says, "We don't carry those standard. I could fly back and get you some if you wish."
No. Helicopter fuel is really expensive, and we don't need to burn through any more than we have to. And I don't want you risking doing anything, and we need you to be here when.
And save the
Right.
planet as well.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna report back to my friends. Keep reading, and I'm gonna sprint back to my friends. And I'll say, long story short, no, they don't have any.
Okay, well, let's keep our fingers crossed in that case then.
Misty's
don't-
thinking, I could go vaporous for
I
now.
go I don't need to breathe.
Yeah, didn't you die once?
Yeah. That's
So-
why I like brains.
So up to the main entrance, you can see. I'm going to pop you on the map to show you what you can see. Your tokens are in the corridor at the moment, but you're not in there at this time. I understand that you're still.
Sorry.
Yeah,
When we
go.
did the flyover, there was no entrances on the roof, no skylights or anything.
No, nothing at
It
all.
was a straight flat roof, right? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there would be some kind of maybe air conditioning or something like that, just because it's something that's quite modern. Can you see anything now?
A room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's this. You're stood in like a bit of a corridor. It's almost like corridor-esque. That's about 5 meters long and about 2 meters wide. You can see this looking through the double doors. It does look like there was once one of those turnstiles that you check in with. But you can see the two sort of like pillars of it, but the turnstile seems to have disappeared. There's no light on the checking in place either. You can, from the outside, as you look in, you can see that there's 2 doors, one leading to the north and one leading to the south. So you can see it's there and here. Okay, and these doors seem to be shut, but there seems to be no locking mechanism on there. There doesn't seem to be a key or anything like that. It might have been activated by key fobs. You're not too sure at the moment.
You said you have an ironed lung? Like your lungs are made of iron?
No one's been able to shoot them yet, so I don't know. Maybe.
So what
Because
was
that's
to the
kind of
west?
scary.
Well, like I don't know. I personally haven't checked, and I haven't because of the way our system is. It's very expensive to go get X-rays and the whole thing.
Do you like set off alarms like when you try to go places?
Most people don't like. I set off alarms because I usually actually break doors I actually walk through. But
Okay, well, let's hope they don't have power here, because these turnstiles, if they just activate because people are going through, might warn everybody. Let me show you what I mean, everybody. I'm going to try and use my parkour and acrobatics to go over the turnstiles without actually going through.
You need to get through the doors first. Because,
oh, that's past these doors?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Inside. So it's inside, sort of like here where I'm pinging. So imagine that you've got the doors, you go through the doors, there's a gap, and then there's these turnstiles, and then there's another gap. Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to just try and open the door.
Turnstiles aren't there anymore, are they?
I'm gonna get my shield up, ready for just in case anything happens to pop through or anything like that.
Yep.
Ready. I'll...
Rabbit, hang on. Rabbit wants to try to open the doors first, unless she's going to step aside and let.
Actually, seeing him getting his shield out, I don't want to be in his way, so I'm gonna reach and then step back.
Okay, so Banner, what's going to be the plan? Do you want to break the glass, or do you want to try to open the door?
I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay, then. So this is going to be an opposed roll. Your brawn against my brawn roll. Just to let you know, your result, because of your super strength, you just need to get a very easy to pull them open. But if you'd like to roll your brawn, and I'll roll my opposed roll. So you reach down and you get a 27 out of 27 out of 146, which is your very easy roll. So you sort of like reach forward and sort of like get your hands in that really narrow gap, and you try to pull them over. And if you notice by the opposed roll, I got a 47 out of 70. So my roll is actually higher than yours. And so even when you're trying to pull it over, there definitely seems to be resistance. You don't think it has power. You think it's probably been locked down, and that's what's causing the issue. You can try to open it again, or you can smash the glass.
I'm going to try to open it again.
Okay, then. So now your roll will be easy, because your roll is the same thing again. 36 out of 110, which opens up. I only get a 5, which actually
critical, though.
Actually gives me a 5 out of 70. So that would actually be
by a door.
A crit. So you sort of like try to open it again, and Misty and
it stuns you.
yeah.
And it's gonna do maximum damage.
Maximum damage. Choose location.
Choose location. Head.
I imagine Rabbit is trying to run on the spot, ready to dive in.
There's some frustration on my end. I think I'm just gonna slam through now. It's gone from brawn to destroy.
Okay, then. So just do a combat check, just to see whether or not you get a crit. You can hit it; it's not a problem. Okay, then, and then you need to do some damage for me.
I'm gonna hide behind Misty.
Yeah, I'll be stepping away.
Yeah, so 18 points damage easily goes over the armor points of the glass, and it just sort of like shatters one. Do you want to shatter one of the door panels or one of the sides outside the door? What would you prefer?
I just wanted the doors to kind of blast through or just blast open out of anger.
And this is where we find out the reason why it wouldn't open is because there's a vacuum in the inside keeping all the poisonous gases there, and you just release them all out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
blow up.
Banner sort of like tries this door once and then tries it again and just sort of, hell with this, and bashes in with the through the glass, and the glass shatters inwards. It seems to be that protective security glass, so it doesn't sort of like splinter into lots of little pieces. It seems to form big chunks, and it sort of like falls to the ground. And you notice immediately there's the air smells quite stale in here. As you walk in, you do see the aircon system. You do see the grills for that in the roof, but there's no sound or anything from it at all. And even Misty and Rabbit, you feel the same. There's definitely a staleness in the air, mainly probably due to the building not being used for some time.
All right, I'll start
Okay,
walking through.
Yeah, let's do it by the numbers.
Okay,
Let's
so Park,
North room first.
yeah, so Rabbit parkours over the turnstiles really effectively, and you have two doors. You have one to the north and one to the south. Yeah, if you click them, you'll open them.
Interesting.
Sorry, I was trying to ping it.
Yeah. So as you approach Banner, the door doesn't open by itself. I think I should have maybe have put these on my layer, but I don't think I can do that. No. So the door doesn't open by itself, but these are quite weak doors. You can easily open it just by pulling it. And the door, would you like to go to the north one?
Sure.
And you should. Oh, I see what I meant to do. I get now. There's an option to lock the door.
Mm.
There you go. Yeah, so you can see this. Can you all see ahead of you now?
Yeah.
I think Misty's positioned properly, but I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, it's light in here. It's not dark outside. You didn't come in the dead of night. And there seems to be almost like emergency lighting on that is providing illumination for you. The corridor that stretches out ahead of you is very sterile. It seems to have white walls, white tiles on the floor, and there seems to be little to nothing on the wall at all. It stretches out in front of you for about almost like 8 to 9 meters. And then you notice that there's quite a big turn to the left. It almost like looks like it might go into a foyer or something like that. The Banner, as soon as you come into this area, you do hear a very faint hum. It's extremely faint. And Rabbit, you hear it once you're in the corridor. Misty, you will once you get into the corridor. It's extremely faint. It's just like that in the distance. It's you're not. If somebody would like to roll an insight check, or you can all roll an insight check if you want to sort of like try to figure out what it.
Well,
Yeah.
we can all do it, but yeah, I'll step.
I want to
into
find
the
the source of this. So I'll give it a think as well.
The reason I do it is because oh no, I still failed.
Rabbit
Might
got
be up to me.
A 93 out of 63.
Yeah.
Oh, Banner, lovely.
So Rabbit got a 91 out of 26. Are you going to use a point of luck, Rabbit?
No.
No. Okay. And Misty got a 93 out of 63, so failed as well. But
Yeah.
with with his wonderful insight, brain as well as brawn, Banner,
Very
you get an
insightful.
18 out of 38. So you get a success, a standard success. So you, at one point, you listen for a while and you turn to the other two and you say in your dulcet tones, sounds like some kind of power generator, maybe the emergency lights, something providing power for something. That's what.
Sometimes I have to steal my neighbor's energy or power from their generator, so I tend to know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That
Things.
sounds like a very good call, Banner.
Wait, you stole their energy?
No. Anyways,
Isn't that a crime?
nope. Because
Don't you do
we're
something to
neighbors.
criminals?
Anyways,
Yeah, so as you progress up through the corridor, you notice that it does indeed turn to the left, and there's quite a wide open space. The width of the corridor changes quite significantly from something that was a mere 2 meters wide to something that's almost double that, almost 4 to 5 meters wide. And you see that there is a door here at the end, Banner. You can see around that corner now.
all right, we're gonna go through this door right here. But keep in mind, Rabbit, don't make us a single target. If things get crazy, we might need you to distract him.
What?
If I tell you to run, run.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I know what that means. Yeah, I'm able to do that.
Ready?
Rabbit, do you want to come around the corner?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep following, but I guess
Oh, that's
I'll let
it.
Misty overtake me.
Get in a nice line. So if anything comes out that door.
I just realised that.
Banner, would you like to open the door? Is that going to be the plan? Yeah. Now
I
you
press
shouldn't.
open button.
You have to pull it open, but I don't think you'll be able to open this button just by clicking on it because it's actually locked. But if I unlock it now, you should be able to click the door and it should open if you can see it.
Pressing a button.
There you go. So it actually opens out to quite a large area, a large room. It's about 6 meters wide to nearly 10 meters in length. And right the way round the outside, there are almost like built-in tables or ledges right the way round the outside of the room. And on each spaced out at very regular intervals are computers that seem to be attached to the actual ledge. And there seems to be keyboards and mice there in places, and these rather state-of-the-art looking chairs as well. In here, it's impeccably clean. Some of the chairs have been moved away from the ledges. Some have been overturned. The actual computers, all the screens seem to be off from this distance. Apart from that, the room is quite sterile and clean. And you can see it has no windows at all. And you suddenly become aware that the reflective glass is probably fake. It is reflective glass, but they're not covering windows, if that makes sense, since all of these walls in this room have no windows at all. There is a single door on the southern wall leading out of this place. But apart from that, that's all you can see as you enter the room. Let me know what you would like to do in here.
I'd like to find a power button on one of these computers, see if it comes on.
Yeah, so do you want to move your token to one that you would like to go to? Yeah, so the one immediately inside the door. So you just stand by it and see whether or not the computer comes on. Banner and Rabbit, what would you like to do?
A guest. This is a nerd den.
Well, I
Banner's
really
not
want to go
known for-
fast.
Yeah, Banner's not much of a computer person. He barely understands how phones work, so I don't know if
Banner,
you
do you
Jesus
trust
want
him.
Do you want to tap on one of these windows and see if it's real or not?
Yeah, there's no windows. It's just
Whether
the
it-
wall.
It's just wall with mirrors on.
No, so it's just the wall. So you figure there's a wall, and then before you get to the outside, they put reflective glass on the
gotcha.
outside. So if you imagine if you had tried to go to a window and break into it, you would, yeah. You'd just be left with a wall. So Banner sort of like is stood in the middle of the room, looking round, trying to flex his biceps and looking super tough in a nerdy
Right. More like perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. And Rabbit, what would you like to do?
I want to try and amuse Banner by spinning as many office chairs as I can. Get them all spinning concurrently.
Okay.
Not bothering Misty's chair, just all the chairs that aren't being used by her.
Okay, then. So Rabbit starts to go around and trying to spin as many chairs round as she possibly can, and to Banner's amusement. You press power on, Misty, but the computer, there seems to be no power to the computers. Right. You do notice up close, by the way, that the screen looks very dusty. It doesn't look like it's been cleaned for a while. And
does it look like there's a base unit to the computer? Is it all just linked to maybe some central core, and these are just screens?
No, that is a good question. It seems to be set in the desk, the actual base unit. So if you imagine there's a ledge, and the base unit's
set it,
yeah, and then the monitor is up on top of it. It almost looks like a laptop with the monitor flicked up, if that makes sense. Let's see how good Rabbit is as spinning chairs. Why don't we use evade? That seems to be a good skill, unless you want to suggest a different one.
No, I like evade.
Yeah.
Here we go.
13.
Are you evading physics? What are you evading? I don't know.
Yeah, so all of a sudden she's rushing round using her super speed, trying to spin as many chairs as she possibly can. So Banner, you notice that there's just that familiar blur of Rabbit as she dashes round the room, and you notice these chairs start to spin in her wake, and she sort of like zooms back to you and sort of like admires her handiwork. All the chairs are busy spinning round. And interestingly enough, they're all going in the same direction. They're all going clockwise as well. And 2 of the chairs that were knocked over are actually upright and spinning as well. Misty, you can...
Misty, look! The spinning!
Banner, can I borrow you for a moment, please?
Yeah, sure. Come on, over.
I'm going to point to the computer inside the cabinet. So can you take that out of there for me, please? Without breaking it.
Oh, yes. So this would be a golden opportunity for your brawn roll. Now,
way to go, Misty!
Now, remember that Banner has a limitation called bull in a china shop, which means that if he fails the roll, he breaks whatever he's pulling out.
Well, it looks like we've got 14 attempts. So
So you're super strong. You'll just need a successful brawn roll, a standard one at this time.
Maybe just pull the cabinet apart. What's wrong with you today, Bunny? You're normally so strong.
He sort of like goes,
reverse it.
No, I broke through. I just broke it.
Yeah, and he sort of like holds the 2 halves of the computer, but he says to you, "There you go, it's out," and hands you both parts of it.
I'd like to have a look at it and see if the hard drive's still intact. That's anything I want out of it.
Yeah, roll your computer skill.
I'm going to use a point of luck and reverse that, please.
Right, so 62 out of 40 would fail, but if you use a point of luck, that would take you to 26 out of 40, which allows you to locate the hard drive. And you can, do you have an electronics roll at all? Electronic skill?
Sadly, I don't think I do know.
No. Okay, so you pull off what you think will be the right connectors, and there's a screw to undo that you manage to find some implement to turn the screw head and get it out, and you end up with what you assume is the primary SSD solid state drive of the computer.
Yeah. Or 16 gig of RAM. We'll never know.
Yeah, you'll never know. You'll never know.
I'll pop it in my pocket.
Yeah. Is that a hard drive in your pocket?
See.
I don't know.
Brilliant. So the chairs are slowing down now, Rabbit, as you stop them spinning round.
Okay, let's head to the south door.
South door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
South door.
South door.
So
I'll wait for Banner to lead.
okay, so is the you can yank this. Just do your normal brawl roll for me.
Ugh. As we've learned before, that's not a good news.
Oh! you can actually, with a critical of 1 out of 73 with a standard success, you could actually pull the door off if you wish. You could do whatever. You could do whatever you want to do with the door, Banner.
And it means the door didn't even pay me. So yeah, sure.
So you sort of you can click on it now and it will open. There you go.
Ooh.
And inside, you sort of pull the door off its hinges altogether and sort of discard it over to one side. And you can see what appears to be the main computer center or the main part of the lab. It's a big room that's about 10 meters squared. Around the outside, there's lots of electronic interfaces, a lot of welding equipment, a lot of fume cupboards and shelves full of what appears to be flat bottom flasks with various colored liquids in. Each has a careful label on it. And in the middle, there's two sort of workstations, and they seem to have a lot of equipment on them. Seems to be maybe something that can weigh things, or centrifugal force machines to spin round. Banner, you just think this looks very high tech. Very high
Very
tech.
nerdy.
Yeah. There is one thing that you do notice in here straight away, and it's on one of the workstations. I'm just pinging it for you so you can see it. It's in the one on the right, and it's just on a workstation, and it seems to be a laptop that is closed. But this laptop is quite smart, in your opinion, because it seems to have some kind of skin applied to it, a bit like you would get one of these gunshot things to put on the top of the laptop, or make the Apple sign into the Wicked Witch handing Snow White it. And you notice that this one is actually covered, and it has the Eternal Enterprise logo on it, if you remember that, you've seen it, but it's also red, white, and blue. It's actually got the stripes down, and it almost matches your own Lycra outfit. for want of a better word. But you do notice straight on the top, there is definitely the Eternal Enterprise logo on there. Yeah, so what would you all like to do?
I would like to quickly retrace our steps back to the entrance and then make my way back, just to see if anything's changed or if anybody's following us.
Okay.
Getting a little paranoid in this stuffy building.
Okay,
Well, we
then.
can always check the south door, closest door, and go back to the south door.
Well, yes, but I'm not going to blaze ahead on my own.
No, did you say that opposite here was another door?
Yeah, so to the south, directly opposite the entrance to this one, is another door.
Yeah.
You can get your bearings, and you think this room is almost like directly behind the entrance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so it seems to be in the middle. So Rabbit, you want to do a dash backwards and forwards. And Banner, what's going to be your plan?
I'm going to carefully walk through, kind of do a perception, see if anyone's in here, if I notice anything stand out outside of the laptop.
Okay, then. And what would you like to do, Misty?
I'm going to follow him in. I've got complete trust with Rabbit, and she'll be here if there's any problems.
Okay, then. Do you want to put yourself in where you want to be? So the laptop is here, Banner, if you want to.
Yeah.
Can you see that little grey square there? That's where the laptop is.
Okay.
You dash back, Rabbit, and you notice that there's nobody following you or anything. And any door that Banner pulled open is still open. There seems to be no power to close it again, if that makes sense. So yeah, and there's nobody outside. You actually get to the alcove and you can see, 100 meters in the away, the helicopter's still there. There seems to be nobody else around.
Okay, excellent. I'll return to the group and feel a little less paranoid.
Yeah. Okay, you can zoom into the room. So yeah, did you want to roll a perception check?
I already did it. I failed.
All right, yeah. So you can't see anybody in here. It seems to be there is a computer near the table. Can you see that on the map just next to you, Misty? There, that seems to be an actual computer. There seems to be others around, but some of them are not computers. They're more like electronic measuring devices or centrifugal forces or centrifuges and things like that. It definitely looks more like a laboratory rather than a nerd palace, if that makes sense.
Yeah. There's no fridges or anything, is there?
There are some cabinets around that could be fridges. There's definitely a huge amount of coloured liquids behind shelves, glass fronted shelves in various times. You can see here at various points around the room, you can see that there's air conditioning fans in the roof, and below those are where the fuming chambers are, the fume cupboards. So if there would be anything dangerous, people could put them in there and it would be sucked out rather than coming into the actual building.
But they're not actually running on the emergency power, are they?
No. Everything in this room seems to be completely and utterly dead.
What about that humming we heard earlier?
Yeah, you can still hear that.
Okay.
You think that's probably the light system that is keeping on emergency lighting. It's not super bright in here, but it's big. It's light enough to see. It's not red or anything, and you assume that is what the humming is. Rabbit, you come. Yeah, go for it.
Be careful not to break anything while we're in here.
Banner never breaks anything. Rabbit, you come back and let the party know that, let the team know that nobody is following, and you come into the room for the first time. So is there anything that where would you like to go, etc. in the room?
I want to look for something that might be effective at hitting an enemy. Something that might class as a club, but might be made of glass. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to start picking things up, and will this swing very well?
Okay, then. So you probably find some glass rods and things like that. Do you want to put yourself roughly where you would like to be in the room? Or
probably over here.
Yeah. So you probably start just by the side of the door, then make your way round anti-clockwise around the room. Brilliant. Misty, you're over by this computer station.
I'll push the power button again, but I've no hope for it turning on. But we'll give it a go.
Just as the other one, nothing. There seems to be no power to the room at all. You can
look, Misty, over here. There's a fancy laptop, and it's for emails.
I'll go over to Banner and have a look.
You can.
Does it when I open the laptop?
You can calculate numbers.
When I open up the laptop, does it have any residual power left in it?
Yeah, so you open the laptop and it does still have power to it, and it comes up on the screen. It says, press any button for justice. Banner, make a willpower check. Hang on, Banner, make a willpower check.
Well, naturally, my willpower is quite strong. It's quite the foundation of who I am. Nope.
Yeah, so you fail and you immediately reach out, and it's almost like slow motion. Misty reaches out to close the gap. It's all like goes, no, Rabbit, you hear this. You can move if you wish because you have your super speed, as Misty's all like, no. And Banner, with a massive grin on his face, reaches out. Rabbit, where would you like to go, or do you want to stay there?
Outside.
I want to stop Banner from making a mistake.
Yeah, so you get very close, but even with your super speed, you can't stop him. And he's sort of like, with a smile and a sense of justice on his face, he presses a button, and the noise suddenly increases. It goes from something that is quite quiet to something that is quite noisy. And what you notice immediately is that, hang on, got my thing round the wrong way. What you notice is that there's this sudden purr. Is that right? Yeah, that's what we want. The sound increases dramatically, and you hear a psst, and you notice in the room from the ceiling drops down what appears to be perspex sheets that go and forms this cage. They are totally transparent and just go chunk, 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 chunk down and hits the floor. They seem to be going from floor to ceiling. As a quick look around, you notice that they're quite thick. But something else happens, because the screen...
Yeah, I'm going to slap the back of Banner's head.
The screen of the laptop, it actually changes from touch press any button for justice, and you seem to be receiving a live network 7 feed. You can see that they seem to be stood outside a building. It doesn't seem to be an important building from what you can see, but there's quite a crowd, and there seems to be a perimeter set up around this building. And the Sally Fields, the Network 7 reporter is there. You know her from her progress, actual broadcasts. And you seem to have entered or come into the Network 7 just as the lead newsreader has passed over to Sally. And Sally says, thank you, Bert. You joined us at a site of what appears to be a hostage situation. We had a call a few minutes ago that the once famous and friendly team of heroes, the Mistress of Moisture Misty, the Rapid Rabbit, and the Heavy-Handed Banner have entered what appears to be some kind of a security building that we think has money in, to have entered the building to arrest the robbers and free the hostages. However, it has been quite quiet for some time, and we wait, we can hear screams and gunshots. And Sally Fields touches her ear for communication. It would appear we have some live footage from inside the buildings from the mobile phones of one of the hostages. The transmission is poor and we have no visuals, but we do have sound. And she turns around and says, play it, Mike, play it. And there's sort of like a crackle, and you hear a woman's voice. All this is coming over static, and you hear a woman's voice saying, "No, Rabbit, please do not use your staff on me." And then also like a whack and a thump of what appears to be a staff being used. And man's voice says, "I don't like water," and almost like there's this gurgling sound. And the walls have been broken through. Wait. And you hear this voice that says, "Time to teach you all a lesson, you unpatriotic fools." And all of a sudden the sound stops, and they sort of like... and Sally Fields says, I really don't know what is going on, but we're really, really confused here. Wait, what is this? And there's a van screeches up, and a second team of heroes come out of the van. And Sally says, it looks like a rescue. It would appear that the original team of 4 or 3 have been trying to rob... we have a second team on site. Sonic Blast is here, everyone, and it appears he has some friends with him. "Yo, dudes, don't worry, we've got this," Sonic Blast says. "Okay, Hedge Thicket and Dumbbell, let's go." And there seems to be a blast of loud music as Sonic Blast and Hedge Thicket and Dumbbell enter the building. And there's a sound of loud music and the sound of destruction inside. Sounds of walls being broken, things being moved around. These are all coming from the mobile phones. And then suddenly, staggering out of the room, comes Hedge Thicket. Now, I'm going to put the token of Hedge Thicket on because you haven't actually met Hedge Thicket before. But she definitely is a lady. She's clad. Can you see that? Yeah, she's
Yes,
clad
she's-
completely in green. She has long green hair that seems to almost like have its own life as ivy tendrils. And she has a mask on and wears a belt. And she comes out and she appears to have some blood on her face. And Sally Field says, Hedge Thicket, you are injured. And Hedge Thicket turns to the camera and says, do not worry, it is nothing. But sadly, my vines were too slow to capture that rapid rabbit woman. And she got some hits in on me before they fled. You can come in now, but we warn you, the devastation they have done is not pleasant. And I'm also going to put, you've met Sonic Blast before, so you know what he looks like. You haven't met Dumbbell.
Just 1 second. While this is going on, I'm going to be recording the footage on the laptop on my phone.
Yeah, you can whip out your phone and record the footage.
Yeah, just
so,
and then lift it up and show us in this empty room.
Yeah. This is what Dumbbell looks like. So he's muscle bound, but not as big as Banner. He seems to be more of a street fighter rather than a hefty bodybuilder. He wears
It's someone who doesn't rely on protein too much, doesn't do consistent workout. Probably only works out 6, not 7 days a week. That kind of thing.
He's not as big as you, but he looks just as tough, but maybe a little bit quicker than you, Banner, as well.
Only maybe women-witted.
He wears denim shorts cut off by the thigh, his enormous thighs, and he has those boxer wraps round his hands. He looks like he might have been a bit of a street fighter in his day. And Sally sort of like says, we're going into the room. And as she goes, oh my God, as the camera sweeps around, and there seems to be water falling. The hostages seem to be soaked in water, and there's one man. As Sally Fields comes round, the camera picks him up. He's sort of like on all fours. He goes like that, and water spews out of his mouth on the floor. And there's a woman that is got her hand up to her head, and there seems to be blood there, and a lot of the material, a lot of the equipment, a lot of the furniture are smashed to splitterines, just as if Banner has been bashing his way through it. And at the back of the building, there's this large hole that's obviously been bashed from the inside outside. And Hedge Thicket turns to Sally Fields and says, I'm sorry, Sally. They seem to have got away with everything. And Sally turns round to Hedge Thicket and says, we are just grateful that there was nobody else that met a perilous end at the hands of these 3 super villains. And the picture goes down to a little hole, a little white dot, and through the what appears to be speakers inside the room, you just hear a voice that says, it looks like someone has become public enemy number 1. And he starts with a slight giggle that grows and grows to a hideous guffaw. And then the room turns silent. What would you like to do?
This is
I,
why we should have gotten the Sky Syndicate on our side. This is the specific situation where they would help smooth things over. I said this. But no, we had to get the
I
better
turned to
weapons,
Misty.
the better armor.
I turned to Misty. I must have hit my head because I don't remember that adventure at all.
No, we're being set up. I've recorded the video, and I've recorded us watching the video. So at least that way we'll have something.
Who? A fan club or?
Can I make a phone call from in here?
You can try.
I will. I'll dial Mr. Stone.
Yeah, you seem to have no
No
signal
reception. Yeah,
at all.
I thought as much, to be fair, because that was going to be my first call, to be fair. But
Banner feeling a little claustrophobic. He's gonna go from one side of the I assume cage, and he's going to charge and try to blast through the other side.
Okay, yeah.
So he's
just
gonna, yeah.
So just roll for me your combat to see whether or not we get a critical, because then you could do things like max damage and things like that. You can hit it. You're not going to miss it. We just need to see whether or not you're yeah. So would you like to do some damage for me, please?
Yeah, he's gonna run like to over here.
Yeah. You sort of like charge past. To you, Rabbit, it looks like Banner is moving quite slowly from one side of the room to the other side of the room. His shield out, ready to... and you just go bash against the wall. Are you finishing up on the north wall up here?
Yeah.
Or where you are now. Yeah, so you rush up there and you hit the wall. Misty, you're there. You don't even see a crack in the material. He doesn't even...
It's going to be plastic, isn't it? It's going to absorb it.
It just seems there's no crack. There's no indentation. He didn't even make a scratch in it.
Save your strength, Banner. You're not going to get out of this one.
What? I get out of everything.
This is the sort of thing they keep sharks in, with massive amounts of water.
I could beat up a shark. I've beaten up sharks. What are you talking about?
You can take
I think
a
I've
run
beaten
at
up
the...
a half man, half shark.
Are there any gaps in the corners or anything? Any where it fits together?
Okay,
Or is
you
it
can
really
from where you're looking at the moment, you can't see any gaps, but you can go and have a closer inspection if you wish.
Yeah, I'm going to walk around the whole thing. I'll look at the ceiling, see if there's any creases where it comes out the roof, any gaps or anything.
Okay, then. So you're walking around checking, and Banner, you've hit this and it hasn't done anything. What would you like to do next?
Banner, not one to quit on his own brute force. He's going to walk back over to this side.
Yeah.
And then try again.
Yeah. Dead in character. Well done. Yeah. Go for it. And you can run up and whack it in again. Just roll your combat to make sure. Oh, that was nearly a critical. That would have been good. Roll some damage. As Rabbit, we come to you. What will you want to do?
Rabbit's trying not to panic, so she's focusing her energy on figuring out, like, she's scratching against the wall, be like, is this a plastic? What is this made of? Is there any way to...
Oh, sorry,
push
wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. My bad.
Yes, just roll some damage. Yeah.
13.
Yeah, you whack into it again with 13 points of damage, and it doesn't even dent. You don't think you're even getting through the armor on this to actually get to the actual plastic, the actual core. You figure you've never seen anything like this at all, Banner. There has been nothing in your past that has withstood your strength, and now this feeble-looking perspex is standing up to it. Misty,
I don't understand what's happening.
You can take a charge at the bottom one, or try one of the other walls if you wish.
Aim for the corner.
Misty, Misty, can you roll me an insight check, please?
Yeah, that's 38 out of 43. a hard check.
Out of 63.
That's 63, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems that this cage, let's call it a cage, has been expertly made in the sense that it seems to come down almost and makes a perfect join. It could be weaker at the seams. You do also notice that it doesn't go into the floor, but it does go up through the roof, if that makes sense. Rabbit, do you have any knowledge, skill, or anything that you could use to try to identify what this material is?
No.
No.
It's anti-binarium.
Knowledge of animals? No.
No.
Streetwise? Track?
So you definitely decide that it is something that is mighty powerful. You've never seen Banner not be able to break through something, and he's hit this twice and nothing's happened at all. Rabbit, can you just roll me a must go fast? I think that is your skill, is it not?
I have a limitation and I have a passion. Want to go fast is my passion, and I'm required to go fast is my limitation.
Right. So whichever one you roll when you might feel restricted and claustrophobic.
I think I do. A 32 out of 74.
So does that mean that you want to go fast?
Yes, that would mean I'm panicking.
Yeah. So you probably start to whiz round, try to find an exit in this. So you, Banner and Misty, you notice that Rabbit has started to, in her eyes, look carefully around the cage, but it's doing it at almost at subsonic speed. Misty, you notice that as she whizzes past you, even, your lovely blonde hair goes, off to one side. Banner, can you just make a willpower check for me, please? Yeah, and you decide that this one might be less hard. So just roll your combat to see as you charge into it, as you pile down in your frustration. Let's see if you get a critical to start off with. Nope. So roll some damage for me.
Oh, it's getting higher.
Oh, yes. You whack into it. You actually rolled 2d10s and you got 15 points of damage. And you actually charge into this one, and you notice the tiniest chip, just a tiny chip that actually comes off. And let's leave it there and take our break now, because this seems to be
I'll just roll a quick skill check to see if I can identify it.
Oh yeah, do you have some? So for you rolling, we're listening to the podcast. Misty suddenly has got a plastic shield identification skill at 67%.
It comes in very handy quite frequently.
But why would you only put it to 67? If you're going to make up a fake skill.
But unfortunately, she failed with a 91. So let's take our break there, because that seems a suitable place to take it. Okay, we are back. If somebody could just talk, so I make sure your voices are working.
Hello?
Excellent.
Just talk.
Music is off. So the three supervillains, heroes, are stuck in a perspex cage, and they've just realized that there has been news footage of them attacking a security building / bank in Metro City. And Rabbit is getting very claustrophobic and is running around. I imagine Misty in a second is just going to put her arm out to stop, and almost like clothesline her.
I'll
And
probably break my arm.
Yeah. And Banner is trying to break out using his super strength, but in his last bash, he actually took the smallest of chips out of this. So, Misty, I thought it'd be a good idea to come to you first, as Rabbit is running around and Banner is going from one side of the Perspex cage to the other. What would Misty like to do?
I'm going to shout for Rabbit to hold my phone. And then I'm going to, you'll see Misty all of a sudden, she'll just almost go insubstantial.
Oh.
Her clothes will fall to the floor.
Ooh.
Dang, I know we've all been here just for a little bit, but
can I just say that I am more than happy for Misty's clothes to actually transform with her.
I'll do that in that case. Then. I was trying to think of the physics of it, but yeah, that's more PG.
A bit like Human Torch's outfit.
Yeah.
Doesn't burn off anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll go all into a gaseous form. And then I'm going to push into the corner and see if I can squeeze through the edges.
Okay.
And if I can't, I'll go to the roof and try to squeeze up there, or the floor.
Okay. Rabbit, are you taking the phone?
Yeah, if I can do like a athletics to keep panicking and grab it at the same time.
Yeah, it's almost like, when somebody holds something out for a mail delivery and something just just like whips it out of your hand, and you continue to build up speed going round. And Banner, what would you like to do? You've actually made a chip in this side.
Banner's gonna, with all the excitement that he's showing that he's making real progress here, he's going to try and bash again in that one very spot.
Okay, then. So you bash away because Misty, you're walking around and checking everything. I would like you to make a that's nice, Banner. You've hit but no crit. Misty, could you make a perception check for me, please? Do some damage.
Indeed, yes, that's a 15 out of 53. Not quite crit.
Not quite. 12 doesn't dint it at all. It looks like you didn't break the surface. Now then, your perception, Misty, you do notice something. Two things. Number one, it's incredibly sealed in the corners. This must be some work of almost like chemical engineering. It appears that when this plastic or perspex touches, it almost artificially creates a seal, across it. Which would probably explain why you can't get reception either. But there's no way you can squeeze through it. When you go up to the ceiling, you can find a hole to seep through the ceiling, but above you is just a sheet, almost like the top of the cage. Yeah. However, one thing that you do notice is that there is no perspex under the floor. It slides down to the floor, and that seal is at the floor, but you can actually seep through the floor into a gap, into the crawl space underneath it, and there's no perspex underneath it. Does that make sense?
It
So
does indeed, yeah.
it's sort of like come down top and sides, or all
And just
sealed.
resting on the floor.
Yeah, so it rests on the floor and the chemical makes that bond with the floor.
But I can go through the floor.
You can go through the floor itself. There seems to be a crawl space underneath there where various piping. It is, I mean, you're right in vaporous form at the moment because you can squeeze into it. It does look like if you weren't a gas, you or Banner or Rabbits down here, it definitely looks like lying flat on your belly and doing almost like a commander roll, crawl to get through it. Yeah, you can see that there are hatches that obviously go into the main rooms. They don't seem to be big enough for a person. It seems to be a hatch that is for the wires to go up or something like that. It doesn't look like humans are meant to be below here. Rabbit,
Okay, sorry.
yeah, just as that's happening, Rabbit, can you make an endurance check for me, please?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, 57 out of 86, a nice standard success there. You don't take a level of fatigue from all your running around. And Banner, would you just roll another combat roll as you charge at this place again?
Are you actually charging though when you do your attack?
Yeah, well, a crit is nice. Now, you actually roll 2d10s, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of them can automatically be a 10 for your max damage. So what we're going to do in this instance and in this instance only, so don't try to do this in combat. What we're going to do, you're going to roll your damage, and we're actually going to double it for this crit as you charge down at full speed. So you're going to roll, and then we go to double. Okay, so higher the better.
4.
So, yeah.
Why don't you do it where he rolls 2 dice and takes away the lowest?
Because I think it'd be more fun to double it.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry.
Come on, Banner. Nobody's looking.
Oh,
Double 10 makes 20. Okay, you actually get through the 15 points of armor, and you actually form a crack in the actual perspex below that. Okay, so it's almost like a weak spot now. Misty,
Banner's gonna roar in excitement.
Yeah. You just hear Rabbit. You just hear Rabbit's just walking around there. You just hear like this as she runs past her. Misty, you come out of a hole, and Rabbit runs past you and disperses you.
oh yeah.
With a backdraft. Just go, and you'll never see it again.
Where's Misty? Over there. Over there.
Yeah, over there, up there.
Yeah.
So you can come back up and materialize if you wish, Misty, anytime that you want.
Well, I'd probably go on the outside rather than the inside.
Oh, yeah. You can
Just
do
get
that.
Banner riled up. Yeah, get Banner riled up. So I'm going to come out of this side here.
It'd be better to come out down here because this is where he's charging.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come out there, but as I'll walk around there to here. As I'm doing that, I'll then solidify.
Nice. So so Banner, you charge once more. Go for it.
Banner, before he charges, he's kind of pumping himself up. He's gonna start like banging with his other hand against the shield, just like, boom, 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 and then he's gonna go for it.
A nice,
we'll see.
A nice crit would be good.
And hey, Hey,
Hey,
I'm gonna use
you-
a point of luck and reverse
so you
that.
got 70 out of 91. So you can use a
There
point
you
of
go.
luck to reverse that to 0 and 7. Okay, then. So let's roll
I'm
and
doing
double.
that. Hold on
I'm
a
going to
second.
wave at him as he runs towards me.
Yeah.
I'll be just to the left.
All right.
Charge.
Oh, exact.
Another. Okay, so now that you've got an area that is through the external armor, you can actually do damage to the actual perspex in this point. So you actually do 20 points of damage. Let me just check how much we've got there. Yeah, so it actually you bash into it and you can see the cracks moving through it just as Misty walks around on the outside of the cage. And Rabbit, you sort of like running around and you see her slowly materialize from gaseous form back into herself, and she's on the outside, and you sort of like speeding past, frowning and thinking, I need to get out. You suddenly see her outside the cage. Both of you,
the saddest face ever. Just
with big puppy dog eyes. Or
yeah.
And do you know what I've got? I've got a Twinkie in my pocket.
You don't even eat those.
I'm going to go and eat it. No, I'm not.
You go, yeah, remember the podcast can't see your camera.
That's true. Yes.
So when all they heard was, I take this quick Twinkie and I'll do this. And then that's it. That's all they know. So deliberately try to eat it slowly in front of Rabbit. Rabbit and Banner, you can react appropriately if you would like to do or say anything.
Misty, how'd you get over there?
Misty, you don't hear anything, by the way.
No.
You just hear Banner. You just see his mouth moving.
You can probably see Rabbit's mouth moving really fast.
Yeah.
I'll point to my ear and then give a gesture of no.
I'll point to my mouth and gesture, nod
Yeah.
yes.
Bear's gonna be knocking on the plastic shield just to try to get her attention. Like waving
bang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be some kind of communication issue here.
I wish she listened to us, It's just never listened to us.
But she's definitely on the outside.
Yeah, lipstick out of pocket, writing backwards on the glass. Keep going.
All right, he's gonna go back again. Hopefully this is it.
Charge!
He's gonna charge again.
Ka-chunk.
Oh, we'll find out.
What's the floor made of?
It's like a plastic tile and then a grill underneath it. I mean, a 77 out of 91 is a hit, so you could do some damage, but we won't be doubling it.
All right, you want to double it.
No.
Oh, yeah. You run and you pull up short because you're frightened of hitting Misty on the outside and only do 9 points of damage, which is quite...
While I've got his attention, I'm going to point to the floor and do a gesture of pulling up. Maybe pull the tiles up.
Yeah.
And then smash downwards. Because all you need is a body size groove underneath the wall, don't you?
Yeah, you just need to pull off enough tiles or smash enough to get an exit, and then you could crawl through. Banner, you can react accordingly. If you want...
Floor.
Well, yeah, Banner, the floor. Get the floor. Get it.
Get what? Did I drop something?
I did just punch it in the face.
Oh, this might be really good for your superpower when you...
Yeah, I was about to do it anyways at one point.
Yeah, nice.
I was hoping that the ripple effect of it would destabilize the plastic and shatter it, but I don't know if that's a glass stain or a plastic stain. I don't know.
Again, I'll write on the wall, do a power jump from the other side and force stamp.
Isn't this wall red?
No, it's
I thought you said
No,
the
you- it's-
plastic was
it's-
like a red wall plastic.
Rabbit, it's read. You have to read it.
Don't bring communism into this.
Okay, I just I thought it
It's
was
the
red.
red wall.
Okay, so does clobbering time take up some PowerPoints?
It does. I don't know. I think it's like 3. I have to verify really quick.
I'm gonna step away from him if he's muttering to himself about clobbering.
Ground pound. The hero smashes their fist into the ground to create a localized tremor. The hero spends 3 power points.
3 PowerPoints then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And they strike the ground with their feet. Anyone standing within a radius of half their strength in meters must make an athletics or acrobatics check against the hero's brawn roll or be knocked prone.
So everybody is just moving their tokens away from Banner. What is your strength?
It's like 16, I think.
16. And
Yeah.
and you go
so-
whereabouts are you going to land?
I'm landing right here. But I'm
Oh,
going
right.
back, and then I'm gonna run, jump up, and with my shield just slam down onto the ground right there.
So
To
sort
see
of
if
like
I can break an impact.
and what is the is it your radius in strength has in a radius, is that right?
Half my strength and radius. So if my strength is 16, so 8 meters.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a localized tremor. It hits the Richter scale.
Yeah, so it's going to hit you. It's you where you were. So Misty, you've moved out into the next room. You are out of the blast area of this. Rabbit, you can't get out of the blast area. So
I'm trying. I'm like shoved into the corner as much as I can.
Just jump when he lands.
Yeah. So Ballard sort of like dives up in the air as close, as big as he can, and sort of like points his shield and his fist to the ground and lets out a "for justice" as he comes down and whacks in and does his 3 power points. You need to make, is it athletics or acrobatics? You get a choice, I think.
You get a choice.
I'll take
Whatever one you wanna do.
athletics. I'm not in a parkour mood right now.
Okay.
Panic. I'm in
Oh!
athletics.
You actually, so Rabbit got 9 out of 81, which is a critical success.
My best
for-
critical.
Your best critical, yeah. So 9 out of 9 for that. So at that critical. So you actually time it exactly right. So as the blast comes down to the floor with Banner and it hits it, you actually jump up using a bit of parkour to sort of like put foot off the corner to get out of the blast range. And it's like sort of like echoes and emanates from him. You do notice that anything that's on the table, etc., falls off and falls over. But Banner, you do make a huge hole, a jagged hole, as you pummel some of the floor tiles down into the crawl space below. And you can see that underneath there's none of this perspex. You can see the actual crawl space, and you probably can crawl along and then try to bash your way out of another floor area if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can fit through. If not, I'm gonna use a brawn check and try to lift this thing up if we can't.
Yeah,
lift.
nice.
Yeah.
Because you know it's Banner,
Deadlift.
he's going to end up back here, you know.
yeah. Before you do that, you do see a rather worried-looking rabbit in the corner. Rabbit.
Rabbit-looking rabbit.
Rabbit, this crawl space is you are going to have to crawl through this.
Yeah, well, I'm not pleased about that. But I'm hoping that by the time Banner makes it through, it'll be better sized for me.
Okay. So Banner, which way do you want to go? Back towards Misty up there at the front? at the top on the north bit.
The smart way or the north way?
The north. Do you want to end up over here, Banner, coming out of the crawl space, or even in this room? Whereabouts would you like to move to? Would you like to
I'll probably go over here and try to smash through.
Hang on, I didn't. All right, so just outside the plastic shell,
Yeah,
but still in the room. Yeah. So make a brawn check for me, please.
Is it brawn or attack?
Brawn.
All right.
To push it up. Yeah.
Oh.
4 out of 73, so that's a critical success. Yeah, and you Misty, you see Banner disappear into the hallway, then almost like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You see the floor to the south of the cage burst open, and out rises Banner.
Comes out first.
Yeah. Comes out bum first as he crawls back out, but he comes out, and Rabbit, you can use the same crawl space. So this the perspex cell is still there. It hasn't gone. It's still there. Yeah, what would people like to do? You do have a door to the south. Banner and Rabbit, you're stood right next to it at the moment.
I would like to retrace. Oh, go for it.
Okay. No, you go into it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I would like to retrace my steps and make it all the way outside.
Okay, yeah. So you can go back round there and out to outside. There's nothing in those corridors or anything like that. Everything is how you have left it. Oh, the other thing is, as you both all sort of like decide about your action, you notice that humming that you heard beforehand has stopped. It's no longer audible at all. So Rabbit is making her way outside. Misty, what would you like to do?
Well, I'll be waiting for Banner to catch up to me, then go follow Misty.
You are Misty.
No, sorry, he's going to follow Rabbit, sorry.
Rabbit.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Myself.
And Banner, what are you going to do?
I'll head their direction, but steamed and ready to break a skull or two.
Well, as long as the helicopter pilot's still there, he knows we're here.
Yeah. So the helicopter pilot is there, and he sort of like, as he sees you approaching, he sort of like points up in the air as if to say, "Are we leaving?" And he sort of one of you says, "We are leaving," and he gets his headset on and starts the rotary up, the rotor blades on top, and you all duck so you don't get your heads taken off as you go underneath. And then Bala, you have to sit in the middle, by the way, just so your weight is central, on the helicopter. And then your two ladies on either side. And the helicopter turns to you, Misty, as leader of the team, and sort of like says, where are we going, Misty? James.
So can you land on the top of Jack Stone's building?
Oh, yes. Yes, he can. So you want to head over to Jack Stone's.
Atomic Alpha's headquarters, yeah.
Oh, yes, to the headquarters. Yeah, and he said that's not a problem at all. You've got, it's about 45 minutes, the journey. So if anybody has spent any PowerPoints, you'll get 1 back in the half hour. And probably 2 back by the time you've got off the helicopter, etc., etc. So it lands on Atomic Alpha. Is there anything you would like to do on the journey?
Contact Jack Stone.
Are we evil now?
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, possibly.
I'm not evil. You're evil. What are you talking
In
about?
fact, I'd like to contact Ollie Olsen.
Yeah, your dispatcher. He's on leave at the moment. If you remember,
Oh,
he was signed off.
do I have Shirley Singer's number?
That it's up to you. You can have it if you wish to have it. I know how much you adore her. I mean, you have communicated in the past.
We have, haven't we? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So in which case, yes, I'm going to ring up Shirley Springer.
Yep. Chief of Police. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Rabbit and Banner, is there anything you would like to do while Misty is doing this?
I'm just gonna be fretting nervously.
Okay. Banner, anything?
Banner's just gonna be cracking his nails a lot and just like
you hear the pilot. He sort of like says, "Mr. Banner, great fan. Anything exciting happening there?"
we got stuck with a giant cage. And then I had to break the cage, but I couldn't break the cage. So I broke the ground under it.
Which
is essentially the same as breaking a cage.
You notice the helicopter jerks a bit and he goes, "Wait, you couldn't break the cage, Mr. Banner?"
I did break the cage. It cracked.
But you didn't break
or
it.
Open the door.
He couldn't open a door. I wouldn't let this get out in the public, Mr. Banner. This could really put a dent in your reputation. The phone picks up and you hear Shirley Springer say, "Yes, Misty?"
Hello, Shirley. We've just seen what's happened on the news. And I'd just like you to know it wasn't us. We have proof it wasn't us.
Yes, I think the least we talk about this incident, the best, until it's hopefully more evidence is collected, and whether or not
evidence.
It goes to a court of law.
No, I have evidence on my phone. We were trapped in a building, and it was all an elaborate trap to frame us. There was a laptop there with a video of the live feed of what happened. So I videoed us watching the live feed. And the fact that we were trapped in this cage.
Very convenient that you managed to
we
do
also
that.
We also have a helicopter pilot here who knew exactly where we were because he's a helicopter pilot. We
also have 3 supers and a room of 8 law-abiding citizens that will testify against it.
I do think they may have been coerced in some way. I mean, all of them.
Just to let you know, Misty, several of them are still in hospital.
As it wasn't any of us, I feel sorry for them. But it wasn't us.
So
you think we can get tiny tacos on the way?
I think we have to.
Are you, Misty? Are you willing to hand yourselves over?
I would need to speak to my colleagues. I can't answer for them at this time. We know we're innocent, but we're more worried about being framed, which we have been.
If you are willing to let us arrest you and take you to prison, then
we would be a sitting duck for whoever's framed us, because clearly they want us out of the picture.
So are you saying that you will not be handing yourselves over to the police?
Miss Springer, I'll ring you back in 5 minutes.
Misty, just roll an insight check. And Tiny Tacos does not have a helicopter landing pad, Rabbit.
Dang it. Then we can't stop and get them on the way.
You
So a standard 58 out of 63.
you think she was slowing down her talking as if to keep you
to
on
track us.
the line longer. And you were very close when you turned it off.
Yeah. It'd be fun trying to track a helicopter, though, wouldn't it? It's here, no, they're here, no, they're here.
Just track your phone.
Oh no.
Right.
Misty chucks her phone out the window.
Yeah. No, it's got the evidence on it.
Yeah.
Sounds like that went well.
What do you think? Should we turn ourselves in?
No, we're super villains. I mean, heroes.
Should we go rob a bank then?
I mean,
eight witnesses and 3 superheroes that say that we did this.
well, we're fighting against some sort of Dr. V dude who works with chemicals and was trying to build superheroes himself. So I mean, he could have made tons of superheroes and then dressed them up to look like us.
Well, that's true, but these may
Or people who seem like us.
These also may be 3 superheroes created by him.
I mean, I came from a farm where my dad raised me, and so there could be siblings of mine out there. It could be people who look like me but aren't me, but maybe have the same abilities as me. And maybe that could be true for you guys, because you had to come from somewhere, like a farm.
Yes, a farm.
No. Possibly, Rabbit, possibly. Okay, so in which case, where should we go? I don't think going to our headquarters, Atomic Alpha, would help. Or maybe it would. We need to speak to Mr. Stone, don't we, really?
Yeah, maybe you should call him before we get there, because it's going to take like 30 whole minutes to drive this helicopter over there.
Well, we also have to be careful, because once we leave this helicopter, we're no longer protected.
And confined.
Also, this pilot needs protecting.
So I feel like we should drop off the pilot. We might have to.
Jack Stone.
Please tell me that Banner can fly a helicopter. Please.
He can blow up a helicopter.
He could pick it up and throw it.
Yeah, he can make it fly. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. I swear to God, I do have 30 pilot. I have a 30 pilot.
No way.
Pilot,
Yeah,
what?
I do.
A U.S.
I
soldier
do.
background?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a soldier background, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like jets or helicopters?
So that's pilot, so stop asking questions.
Okay, sorry, sir.
It could be any flying vehicle, we'll say.
Yeah.
And not
Really?
a Misty.
Yeah.
Okay, so
30% chance.
So I will ring Jack.
okay, then, so before you ring Jack, I think it's a golden opportunity for you to talk via your own personal communicators, because you have those in any case, about your possible next steps. What do you think is going to be the best way forward? What do you need to find out, if anything? How can you prove? I take it from your discussion that you're not going to hand yourselves over or to be arrested. And I agree with what Misty said. It would make you sitting ducks no matter where you were. So
And is what Dr. V probably wants.
Yeah.
So what's going to be?
Fail.
So if you phone Jack Stone, to what end are you trying to? Why would you phone Jack Stone?
So it wasn't us, and we have proof it wasn't us, and the pilot we have with us is proof that it wasn't us and must be kept alive. And why did we go to that warehouse in the first place? Refresh my memory. That building.
Because it was reported to you.
Oh, the last person, he was there.
The last place that Dr.
V. Yeah,
that's right. And who told us that, out of interest?
It actually came to you via a piece of information that came directly to you via Atomic Alpha. came via
Right.
Matty Mason, your contact there.
Our contacts.
But you don't.
So we also think he may be breached as well.
Or, I mean, it could have just been sent to the company. It could have been. I mean, you do know that location was part of Eternal Enterprises, one of Eternal Enterprises
But it's a
facilities.
very well-timed trap, though, isn't it? A very well-timed trap.
It was a well-timed trap. Yeah.
I don't think it was Maddie's choice to. I don't think there was betrayal there.
But we need
I think
to
it
find
was
out where he
because-
got it from, though.
Wasn't he doing some research for us too on all of this? Like he
Yeah.
was actively learning it, and he came across that and was like, maybe this is something you guys could look into. And we said, justice.
Yeah.
Justice for all, and off you went.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how I don't think he was purposely trying to set us up, but I think Banner would do well in prison life, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody would mess with him.
Teaching criminals to be less criminal.
Well,
Yeah.
you'd just be the top gang member because you break everybody.
Yeah.
You mean top justice enforcer?
Yeah, but no, you'd still be a prisoner. And so, what?
From the inside.
We need to
I'd be
know if
like-
Jack Stone supports us, because if he supports us,
Yeah.
then that means that we at
We
least
can
have
stay
some
out
sort of
and-
defense.
Yeah.
And-
Okay. So
and-
we sorry. Yeah. Go for it, Rabbit.
I was just going to expand then from there. I don't really know how we would prove our innocence. If people truly believe it was us, then we need to find whoever those people were. But if they are
Kill 'em.
basically us, then how am I going to
Well-
catch me?
Here's the thing. Everywhere we go, they'll unfortunately
People wanna
know that people they would think that we are the perpetrators of this potential crime, meaning that we have to go around not looking like us.
Undercover.
We're just going our normal outfit, apart from Banner, who people think Banner is.
Banner have to put on a
So
silly
we-
voice to.
No, not Banner.
Hello.
So we have to essentially
Banner's-
be our
Or,
alter egos.
or we
Banner is
could
actually
and
coming
then
up with some.
investigate.
Banner, you're coming
Yeah.
up with some good ideas here. I'm very impressed.
or we could leave the city and take over the Dominican Republic.
we can take over the Dominican Republic. No, well, maybe we have to go as the alter egos and then possibly investigate the crime scene, but not as ourselves.
I actually agree with Banner. In a sense,
Yeah.
not a crime scene, but something. Or
So-
who goes back to the crime scene.
So the crime
But
scene
you guys
would
don't
be.
have alter egos. Or do
Misty
you?
does. Misty is the only person who does have an alter ego.
There you go. Yeah.
Banner is
Ra-
alter ego too.
Yeah.
Banner just his last name.
Yeah.
He has a day job by
As
day.
pizza delivery.
Yeah, it's 14 hours a week. It's
Do you have a secret identity?
yeah,
Oh, I guess his last name isn't Banner. It's John
Yeah, it's-
Morgan.
yeah. John Morgan.
He does have a secret identity of 69%. Is it
Yeah.
Rabbit that doesn't have one?
Rabbit believes her name is Rabbit, and
Yeah.
I think she probably found out before coming to the city that her legal name is Lily Alex, and so she's
Misty
not-
probably found that out for you,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah,
sort of like,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, then. So we've got several things that we can go forward here. Number one, you're suggesting that you're going to get in touch with Jack Stone to say whether or not you're innocent, etc., and see what he suggests. Banner suggested that people get into their alter egos and go to the crime scene and try to check that out. The only other thing that I might suggest to you is to try to find, you've met this Sonic Blast character has appeared several times in the adventures already, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So it might be worth trying to get some information about
Yeah.
him. You know, what's the social media coverage, etc. And Misty, you have that phone. So that
I do.
phone is your only piece of evidence
Mhm.
for you at the moment. And whether or not it would be a really good piece of evidence in a court of law remains to be seen. But it would appear to me that the best way forward is to try to find as much evidence as you possibly can.
Well, I'll probably upload that video onto the internet anyway.
Is that what you would like to do?
I would like to upload the video onto our site that I'm sure we have.
Yeah, onto your social media networks. Yeah. Okay. Is that what you would like to do?
Yes, and I'll say it wasn't us. We were miles
Fake
away.
news. You know, everyone knows that you guys are.
Okay,
No,
then.
manipulating.
We are going to build
the
that wall.
Right. Okay,
we were
then.
stuck behind a wall, and the wall prevented us from leaving to do this.
We just went
double
underneath
grind.
it.
Yeah. Okay, then. And what about Dr. V? Is there anything that you would like to do in the direction of Dr. V?
Why does he
A
hate us so
fist.
much?
I'm gonna fist that V.
No.
Or do you
No,
just
but
want?
seriously, why do we have any idea why he hates us?
No, but you
'Cause that
you
seemed
haven't
very targeted.
you haven't explored that
No.
at all.
Well, let's do search on Michael Brody.
Maybe one of us like accidentally, like initially agreed to do halfsies on a timeshare, but then backed out at the last minute.
I
Well,
reckon
I
he's gone
think
to a
Banner did
taco.
do that.
He's gone to a taco shop, and they've run out of tacos because Rabbit was there first.
Rabbit.
I
Rabbit.
took his tacos.
Yeah, you took the last tacker.
That's like
And-
part of his origin story. Is like,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm having a bad day at Eternal Enterprises, and I just want to have this top. What? And then he sees me standing there eating it.
eating the last taco.
That's it.
You
Crime.
ate V's taco?
Okay, so
Damn,
let's have a talk with Jack Stone on the helicopter. Does Banner or Rabbit, do you have a research skill at all?
I do, but it's pretty low. I'd be interested in looking up Dr. V, I guess, because I think that makes the most sense to Rabbit.
Okay, then. Yeah. So you can. I still need to know. Are you going to go to Atomic Alpha? Is that going to be
No.
your say? Oh
No.
no.
No, I think if we're going to do secret identity, we're going to my house.
Okay then. Yeah. Okay then. So you don't want
So
the
I'll tell the
helicopter.
pilot. No, I'll tell the pilot to drop down somewhere close,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
too close,
Okay, got yeah. So
and then get to safety.
do you wish to talk to Jack Stone in the helicopter or once you got to your safe house?
In the helicopter.
Okay then. Yeah. So you phone and it's Matty Mason who picks up the call first because everything is directed via him.
Yeah.
And he sort of like says, Misty, is that you?
Hello, Matty. Are you surprised?
Have you seen Network 7?
Yes, I have a lovely video of it on my phone from when we were trapped in an inescapable room.
What? Why did you attack those innocent people?
We did not attack those innocent people. It was not us.
But
Where did you get the information from where Dr. V was?
roll influence check for me.
Well, I think I've upped that, haven't I, as well?
This will be hard, by the
Not
way.
enough.
But
No.
not enough.
In fact, I'm going to use a point of luck and re-roll that. If that's okay,
Re-roll it
with a sterner voice.
with a sterner voice.
Oh,
Oh, so
The
close.
standard.
Jack
Yeah.
Stone, we were like that centerfold that you have pinned up in your office. We were framed.
Oh,
Oh my lord.
that would have been really good. Apart from it, you're not talking to Jack Stone. Matty sort of like says, I just don't believe that you three would do this. And then he almost
Yeah.
like puts on a very business-like tone and says, what is the nature of your call?
Can we speak to Jack Stone, please, Matty?
One moment. And it sort of like rings and rings and rings and rings. And just as you're about to hang up, it gets picked up and says, you hear Jack Stone's voice on the other hand and say, please tell me you've got good news.
Well, yes and no. Apparently lots of witnesses, but we have video proof of us being locked in a room that even Banner couldn't break out of. And this video being broadcast through a laptop in that room to us.
Do you realize that I've got investors fleeing the company at the moment? Our shares have dropped by 2%.
That could be the reason why they framed us or are framing us. But it definitely was not us. You have our word on that.
And you said that you've got evidence.
Yeah, well, I'm about to upload it to our social media site.
Wait, you're going to put it on social media?
Yeah. I mean, it's a video of us trapped in a room watching a video of what was happening live.
But I do have one question. What makes it possible that maybe they think we're just watching a recording of us committing a crime? And then we just look like assholes.
I think the recording.
we got off on that sort of thing.
You, Misty, you are aware of one of our rival companies, yes?
Is that Eternal Enterprise?
No, the
No.
other one.
Oh, Sky. Yeah,
Sky Syndicate.
Sky Syndicate, yes.
They rule social media. I tell you, if that video goes out on social media within seconds, it will be labeled as fake, created. They might even take the video and change your faces on it. Sky Syndicate is a massive company. Their technology is off the scale. They are one of our competitors. We are actually losing money to them. Our investors are going over to Sky Syndicate. Please think very carefully before you place any evidence online.
What would you suggest we do then, Mr. Stone? Because we're between a bit of a rock and a hard place. We've got your pilot here who can verify that we walked into the building, took some time in that building, and then came back out again.
Let me talk to my legal team.
Indeed.
And he puts you on hold, so you sort of like hear and every now and again, you hear Atomic Alpha, the company of the future, and then it goes back to music, and then you hear, we value your custom. Please do hold. One of our experienced handlers will be back in touch with you shortly.
You are number 1032 in the queue.
You are in a queue. You are number 6,224th in the queue. And after a while, Jack comes back on line and he says, okay, first of all, we need you not to associate our company with any of your actions. Do you understand that?
Indeed.
If there's,
does this mean you're letting us out to dry?
If there's any connection, this will go badly for the company. And what goes badly for the company goes badly for you guys as well. He says, I've consulted. We've got some plans. Number one, and we suggest that you possibly check out the scene incognito.
Yes, we were going to do that.
And he says, is Banner listening?
We'll explain what incognito means.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Jack, he was the one who suggested going back to the scene.
I don't. I guess I know what Nito means. Is it what's incog?
Has he been subjected to some poisonous gas?
Well, he couldn't open a door earlier, and
He couldn't open a door.
I know, and he couldn't
Hell on
smash his
earth.
Dash it through.
He couldn't smash through
It
a wall either.
Oh no! If this gets out,
Incorrect.
think of the memes. Just think of the memes that's going to come out of this. Okay, check out the crime scene. See what evidence you can find there. We're going to put you in touch with a hacker. He has worked with us on several occasions. However, he's not directly connected to the company.
I understand.
I think it might be a good idea to try to find out about these other three heroes, where they come from, what are their backgrounds. They seem to have appeared from nowhere. And it's my understanding, I think Sky Syndicate is connected with this.
Well, we definitely know Dr. V's connected. And
And
he has
Yes.
made superheroes, hasn't he?
Well, that brings me on to the third point. You need to find out where this Dr. V is and, well, bring him to justice.
Wait, Misty, that actually reminds me. Wasn't there something written on that laptop that looked
That you-
really cool but trapped us?
That was Sky Syndicate, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was Eternal Enterprise.
Eternal Enterprise, sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So
Total Enterprises.
Brian
Who's that?
Brasks, yeah, the one that keeps trying to
yours?
get you to join,
Yeah.
Banner. Your favorite fan person. Jack Stone continues and he says, it's imperative that there is no connection made to us. He sends over a file with a location of somebody that is actually just called BBL. That seems to be his initials. There's no explanation. It just says BBL. And so, like, this is the hacker, and he has a location in the slums. Rabbit, you know where that is. They send you the address of the attack on the security system with the bank money, etc., which is in downtown Metro City. It's not in the super crowded area. It's a little bit in the suburbs, so to speak, but it is in Metro City and the downtown area. He also sends across a data file on Dr. V, and he sort of like says, this is what we have so far. And he actually sends it across, and it looks like his original name, he's not always been Dr. V. His name seems to be Vernon Smith.
Oh,
That seems to be his name. He was an employee of in Eternal Enterprises, and he did have an abode in the posh area of Metro City. So in the same area that you, Misty, have your location, your abode in the posh area. There's an address, but that's it. Obviously, Atomic Alpha hasn't sort of like made its own investigations or anything like that. Jack Stone, before he rings off, he says, as soon as the pilot gets back, he will be going on. Would you believe the pilot has just won a 4-month vacation?
I was going to say, can you protect the pilot?
Consider him protected.
Would you like me to send you the video of us?
He's silent for a while, and you get the feeling that he's almost like put you on mute to listen something, and then he comes off. He says, No, don't send it to us. We need to see, we don't want to have any connection with Atomic Alpha. Nothing at all.
I understand.
When we have all the evidence, you can go public with it and we'll support you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Please
Just as long as the
remind
pilot's
Banner.
safe.
Please remind Banner. Incognito.
Yes. In
He says-
disguise, Mr. Banner.
He says to you, don't use this number again, Misty. I'll get in touch with you in 24 hours.
No problem. I won't do. Thank you.
And he sort of like clicks it off. So you're sort of like positioned, dropped off in a certain location. You can make your way back to Misty's house incognito. So you can get there, and then you, Rabbit, you need to refuel with food. But luckily, Misty has a well-stocked fridge. And Misty, you might have to provide some outfit for Rabbit.
That's not a problem. I've got a very well-stocked wardrobe.
Are we
Yeah,
going...
but in your size, are we the same size?
I'm a bit taller, but like lycra stretches, you can wear a jogging suit.
Oh, Rabbit's
Okay.
going to be in a jogging suit. Nice. And Banner, you can put your normal work uniform on. So the next
Or a
thing...
dress.
Yeah, or a dress. It's completely up to you, Banner. Completely
It's
up to you.
not Thirsty Thursdays.
Incognito, I think the dress is necessary.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm off to sign posters at my local gym. I'll see you all later.
Sign posters. What?
I'm
Misty,
I'm scheduled to sign posters at my local gym. It's for the youth. It's to make sure they all lift weights to stop crime.
you actually show Rabbit your gym on the internet, and so like says, this is my gym, and it says so gym, now supported by dumbbell underneath it. It's it looks like your gym has ditched you, Banner, in favor of dumbbell.
Go
More
smash
like
that place up.
dumbbell.
So,
Yeah.
Misty, I have an important question for you. Where is the data going to go of your video? What are you going to do with it, etc., etc.?
I would put in a safe at the house, but I don't think that'd be safe. Because I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put the phone in my safe, but I'll also
Okay.
transfer the video to my OneDrive, my
Like
drive.
cloud storage.
Yeah.
So you're going to transfer the video to cloud storage.
Yes, but also keeping a hard copy, the original copy of it as well.
Okay then.
I bet
Okay.
that cloud storage will get hacked, won't it, by whoever? It's
We're
not going to
making
miss
friends
this
with a
cloud
hacker.
storage.
So
Yeah, maybe not then.
It's up to
But
you.
I don't want to keep this SIM card in this phone, but I need to keep this phone on me so Stone can ring me.
Well, how about this? You can maybe duplicate the video and put it into something and hide that something somewhere else where no one else would know that.
So I
I'll
can't.
take it to one of those
is.
shops. I'll take it to one of those shops that converts it to DVD or VHS.
Yeah, I can't stand Banner coming up with great ideas for much longer. I really can't.
See, I didn't hear what he said because I just switched off. What did he say?
I'm just trying to inch it because I want to push the story forward. But,
you could download it off the SIM card and put it onto another card and store it in your safe, so you've still got your phone.
No, I'll do that.
we need to put it on Laserdisc.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then.
There'll be
So
somebody out there with a Laserdisc player.
probably direction of two things out and about, and then one that will require you to be in one place. So would you like to do scene of crime first or go visit hacker first?
See, I think doing the scene of crime as fast as possible is quite important, but also seeing the hacker is really important too. I just
You
don't
could-
want to. I
You
don't.
could split
don't.
up.
No.
I say hacker first.
Hacker first, then. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Who?
Hacker. I need to move.
BBL, our hacker friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was on the wrong. I have the adventure on my iPad, but I was on the wrong page. I had the crime scene up. Okay.
Okay, we go Crossy.
No, that's absolutely fine. So as Jack Stone tell you, BBL seems to have an address in the slums area, so across the Lancaster Way and flow across the bridges to the slum areas. Rabbit, you actually know the location. It's a very low part of the slums. It's possibly a place when there might be gangs operating, possibly drugs, alcohol, protection rackets, that sort of area. And you notice that the address is probably part of an old apartment building, so several floors up with several rooms. And you notice that a lot of the room numbers have A and B, as if they've taken an apartment and split it in half to gain more money. It's quite a rough area, Rabbit. You know this, but yeah, it's an area that you're going to have to be careful in, rather than just walking in. You know, there could be people who might stop you to try to mug you. There might be guns available there, etc., etc. Misty, I wouldn't go with a posh outfit on.
No, I'm not going to go flash.
Yeah.
I'll probably jug it up too. Put some sweatpants on.
Yeah. Okay, so are you all going to the hacker?
I think it'd be sensible to all
So-
stay together.
what's our rules then? Who am I? Who are you?
You're Morgan.
I'm Morgan. And what do I do?
You are our bodyguard.
For who? You?
For
Why
both
do you
of
need a
us.
bodyguard?
We're ladies. We go to the slums. You're going to look after us and make sure we're not.
Oh, yeah. Banner, you can walk around with your arm over both their shoulders as if they're your property.
Yeah.
Like a pimp. A pimp I once beat up.
I was just
Without
thinking of a
the big
really
coat.
nice partner, but you know, if you want to go that direction, then that's absolutely
You can be my
fine.
ladies of the night. Dirty.
I took him
dirty
to the hacker and
whores.
made $4,000.
Yeah. Okay, so therefore, Banner, you're going to be the chief person doing the talking, aren't you?
Yes.
Me?
Okay.
You know how to talk to hackers, right? You know how to speak their language.
I really don't know how computers even work. Once you turn it on, anyways,
Does Banner have a streetwise skill?
he how was it? He has a oh, maybe he doesn't.
I've got streetwise and culture of the underworld. I've hung out with some criminals.
Yeah, it'll be you then.
Oh, yeah. So you can augment your influence skill with that if you wish.
I will wish. If I'm the one speaking, because I'm not good at speaking. I just know to keep my head down. My
you
influence
talk.
skill is low.
And you talk that's because you talk pretty fast.
Yes.
I have knowledge criminal.
That's via
law.
your law, isn't
Law,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you could probably tell if they're breaking the law.
That's right.
You are out there. So is it going to be I was just thinking about your setup. If Banner there is Banner a bodyguard to one of you? Who's going to take the lead? That's what I really need to know as you go to the hacker.
I think Rabbit probably advises the group what to do and when to keep your head down and don't pay attention to what these people are doing because that'll lead to problems. That's where her streetwise and culture knowledge would come in.
I
But,
think the best way to push it would be We have the lawyer, the lawyer's private investigator, which would be Rabbit, and then me, the lawyer's bodyguard.
Okay. So we're going in as lawyer and legal team.
Yes.
Okay then.
And she and Misty's characters could also say that they're representing the bank.
No,
This
let's
is
not lie.
increasingly sounding like a bad idea.
Yeah,
Hey, we're a
let's
legal
not, Let's not
team.
lie.
You're
looking
a
for evidence.
hacker and
We
we're...
We
So
work
what-
for the bank.
No,
What are our
well, you
questions
can-
going to be? And I was going to mention that we got his details of.
not necessarily for the hacker, but I mean for like future endeavors in this investigation.
Right. So, are we going to mention that we got their details of Jack Stone?
I think that's up for the lawyer to decide. That seems like a risk.
And are we going to what we're going to ask them?
to help us.
So we need to tell them who we are.
I don't think you
Or,
need to...
or
No,
we could
we
say
don't.
we're representing the three.
I think that would be... I think you... Because you really want the hacker just to try to delve into the backgrounds of those three
Yeah,
newbie
it's unique.
heroes.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it could be... you don't even need to be connected to the three. You could just... You could be reporters, you know,
Yeah.
doing background checks on them, but you need some underhand hacking to find out who they are,
I'm sure that's not
etc.
the first time he's been asked to do that.
No,
Let's say we're from
exactly.
Network 7. That Network 7 would be a good one to lie about, rather than the bank, which they might not like because banks foreclose stuff. If we say we're part of Network 7, we're investigating. That means we have a goal. They know all we want is the truth, and we're not trying to kill anybody or get anybody sent to jail. Like, if we do a legal team approach, then they're going to be like, well, who am I betraying by helping you?
Sounds good. So Misty will go in as a Network 7 representative. Banner can carry the boom arm or be the person lugging stuff around.
Yeah,
Rabbit.
that'd be the camera guy.
We're the research team, and we also are in the field sometimes, but we're not on camera. That's the key thing. Is
Yes.
we're the background
Yeah.
support team.
Okay, that sounds
Information
like
gatherers.
that sounds like a good background to stick to. So so the first thing, Rabbit, I would like you to roll your streetwise skill.
Am I able to augment with my culture?
Yes, you can do that.
Let me get that augment number. It should be 8.
So augmenting
Yes.
it with 8, yeah.
That's so many points.
That's
Okay,
all
and
the
so
points.
now I should have Streetwise come up with an augment 8.
Oh,
Yes.
nice. So you get a 2 out of a 52. Your streetwise was 44, but with the augment of 8, that takes it up to 52. And you get a critical success. Okay, then. I'm going to give you a little piece of information that you would normally not get. So this area, you are aware of the area. It's not a very safe area around here. You're actually quite pleased that, you know, Banner's with you because he can be quite imposing and threatening. But for your critical success, there is another piece of information. This area where the hacker is, there's been some issues, some disturbances. There seems to be a gang. They're actually called the Squats. That's what the gang's called. And they're really gaining in momentum and popularity in this area. And the reason they're called the Squats is that what they do is actually take over people's accommodation, their businesses, and actually squat there. They actually start living there and taking it over for themselves. And they've done this with a number of businesses in the area. And so a lot of people have moved away out of the area and never come back, or they've lost all their possessions and their money, etc., because of this gang. So you've only got that information because you scored a crit. If you hadn't scored the crit, you wouldn't have got that information about the
And
squat
I'm so
gun.
glad you explained about what they do. Because
Yes.
I can't imagine a group of people go around teabagging people.
No, I do know what that is now, by the
Good.
way. So so you head to this apartment. It's a big building that has a lot of small apartments in it, and BBL's apartment is on the 7th floor, and it's it's room number 27A. And you get up there, and the as you approach, can you all make perception checks for me?
I'm gonna perceive the things.
I'm going to go ahead and use a point of luck to reroll mine.
Okay.
You know what? It's the end of the night. I'm using a luck point too.
You're just going to reverse
nice.
yours.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So as you go up, the lift is out of action. It's been out of action for what appears to be years. So you climb up the stairs and you come to the corridor of the apartment on the 7th floor, and you immediately see BBL's apartment. The reason it's immediately recognizable is that it's definitely you can see it, you can all see it from a distance. It has a security camera facing down to the almost like overhead, looking down, and you can also see on the opposite side, opposite the door, there's another security camera as well, facing the door. So there's one going down and one facing it from the other side. The other thing that you do notice as you approach, and I'm going to give you this piece of information and then we'll call it a night and finish the adventure for today. You notice that in the corridor, it has one of those runners of carpet down the middle. Does that make sense? So there's like just carpet down the middle.
Wood on the left and the right.
Yes, yeah. So the strange thing that you notice is that this carpet goes down the middle, and as it gets to suite 27A or apartment 27A, it seems to be burnt. Almost like in a perfect circle, as if something's come down from the ceiling and burnt a perfect circle. And then the carpet continues on afterwards. Does that make sense? So it's all like carpet, burn hole, carpet.
No trap here.
Yeah, and we will leave it there for tonight, or for this session, and we'll come back next time to see whether or not you, as the famous three, the fantastic three, team of three, can actually clear your name, or whether or not you will end up being supervillains. The content of this podcast is covered by the Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, so please give appropriate credit if you are sharing or copying any part of this podcast. Thank you.